Thank you, Students for Life. As I just did a little promo for you, I don't know what I did, but I filmed something for you. But it's really true. This organization is as important as any pro-life organization that exists, because this is a country that is obsessed with youth and beauty. We are absolutely obsessed. Find 500 plastic surgeons who will convince you of that here in the DC area, right? Youth and beauty is all that matters. And why? Because it's seen as good. And when people who are young and capture that, hold a pro-life position, counter to a culture that is a culture of death, you become a catalyst for a revolution. You become a catalyst for something that young people throughout the course of American history have done, which is revolt against the status quo, revolt against the conventional wisdom. That's what young people do. But they need sparks. And we've had sparks aplenty, by and large, doing destructive things to our culture, and that young people have wrought. We need sparks that can restore. And that's why I'm honored, and Karen is honored, and the kids who are here are honored to receive this award, because we want to stand in solidarity with you and affirm to you how important you are in not just the pro-life movement, but as what we see. This is a larger problem that is confronting our culture, and at the core of it is the disrespect for life. That's the core of it. That's you talk about William Wilberforce, and Karen's right. I had two pictures, if you will, two things up on my wall in my Senate office. One was a portrait of Thomas More. Another was a plate by Josiah Wedgwood, and he was one of the collaborators with William Wilberforce. And it was a plate, which was at the time, the way they was art, I guess, if you will. It was a way to communicate a message, was distributing these plates, and on it was a black man in chains, kneeling, and around the edges of the plate was the words, "Am I not a man?" That wasn't the end of it. You hear that a lot, "Am I not a man?" But it finished as, "and a brother." And a brother. This was revolutionary at the time. Wilberforce was hated by all the establishment within his own party. Sound familiar? Right? Even though some of the leaders of his party loved him because he was the interesting thing about Wilberforce is something to remember. One of the great things about Wilberforce is he was funny. He was winsome. He was someone who would engage, and while he was certainly someone who had passion, he was someone who tried to exhibit God's love throughout the whole course of the debate. I believe the great turning point of the pro-life effort, I think politically, certainly partial birth was a big turning point. But I think even more important was with the movement of the crisis pregnancy centers across this country. That movement changed the pro-life movement from a group of mountaintop moralizers condemning people who had abortions to a group of people who loved people who were in difficult situations. And we wanted to embrace them no matter what they decided, and we understood the problems they were going through. We showed God's love. And that has changed the image. You don't see the mainstream media doing to the pro-life movement what they did 20 years ago. Because if they actually cover what we do, they would actually help us change hearts and minds. And so we're on the right path. We're on the right path. And we're inspired by a man like Wilberforce, who no one ever thought slavery was so critically important to the economy of Great Britain that no one would have conceived that it would be possible to change it. No one allowed themselves to think that those Africans were actually human beings like us. They created a fiction in their mind that they were, while they may be human, they weren't real people. And so it is today. And so it is today. No one can actually scientifically deny that the child in the womb is a human being. Every science textbook in the country, in the world, teaches it so. What they deny is the humanity, the personhood of that child in the womb. Are they like us? Or are they different somehow? We know the truth. And we know that the truth will win. But it will only win if you are agents of that truth. And that you have the same passion, winsomeness, and charity to bring to this debate, to bring into your communities, to bring into every aspect of your life. You see, what the left does, what the pro-choice movement does, is they just don't focus on their little issue. They focus on everything they do in every aspect of their life. They make it uncomfortable for students who come to Austin to shower at a Young Men's Christian Association, YMCA gym, because they live it. They're passionate. They're willing to do and say uncomfortable things in mixed company. They're willing to make the sacrifice at their business because they care enough. We won the American Revolution not against those British, not because we were the most powerful, not because we had the most arms, not because we had the truth. We won because we wanted it more. We were willing to sacrifice everything for it. And we were not going to give up. We were not going to stop. That's how the left has done to America what you've seen in your lifetime. Because they simply won't give up. We have the truth and we give up. We have righteousness and we give up. Because it's unpopular. You have a gift as young people. You're idealistic. You haven't been beaten enough by this world to know what's not possible. So you will be our leaders. And so that's why I'm here to affirm you, to say that you must grow this organization. And you must reach out and make this a young person's movement. You will confound every media outlet. You will confound every university professor. You'll drive them crazy, which is exactly what young people are supposed to do. So I thank you. I encourage you. On behalf of Karen and the family, we just want to say how much we appreciate being honored by you, and you honor us by what I know you're going to do, which is change not just the law of this country, but the hearts and minds and the culture in this country. Thank you, and God bless you.